Hi everyone, welcome to your live readings for the full moon in Scorpio. I hope this has been a good week for you so far. Obviously, full moon in Scorpio is a very, very powerful aspect, especially coming as it does right at the end of Taurus season this year. If you're here, please let me know how you're doing. Say hi in the chat. Let me know how your week's been. Hi LV7095LV. It's healing up well, thank you very much. Still plenty of more work to do, but thank you. Happy full moon in Scorpio to you too. Hi Mahari. Please remember to like the video, everyone, and take a moment just to take a few deep breaths. Get yourselves calm, settled in. I'm very aware that the energy for some at the moment is a bit edgy. I think we've talked before about some things being a little overwhelming and the need to connect with people as much as possible at this time. So hopefully you're all doing that. Hi, Tyneen. I'm going to get started by looking at the picture for the collective, and then I'll move on to the 12 signs, and we'll get an idea of what we're dealing with. It's very intense at the moment, and it's not just the full moon in Scorpio. You know, you have Saturn conjunct the South Node in Capricorn. That's retrograde Saturn. So a lot of karmic stuff is being brought up at this moment in time, and that's major. You know, you also have, you know, Venus changing signs, moving into Taurus now. I believe you have Mars changing signs at this moment as well, moving into Cancer. So a lot, you know, yes, there are 3 planets in retrograde, but that's not that unusual. But a lot of planets changing signs at the moment, I feel, is sort of the bigger deal, you know? Like Mars in Cancer is, if people are not on top of their emotions, that one can get very messy. I think that's the best way to look at it. Sort of watch out for people who are not on top of their shit, essentially, and maybe give them a wide berth for the next week or two. So let me see how the collective is doing. What are we looking at for this full moon in Scorpio? Hi, Sarah. Hi, Joel. Hi, Creative Coffee. Safety first, basically. That's my take on, that's my approach, you know. The sense that I'm getting for the collective is there's a lot of waiting. This is the dominant place that we're in collectively, is we're waiting to see what comes our way next, waiting to see what those who want to wield a bit of power are going to do next. But also people seem to be waiting for a lead, waiting for someone else to take the lead, to show them the way to bring things together, the way to move things together. And I feel people sort of want connections, want hope, want things that we can come together and do, or at least point to and go, oh, okay, someone's doing that. That's good. I'm in favor of that. That gives me a bit of encouragement. That gives me a bit of hope. It's that kind of thing. So there's a lot of looking around to each other, waiting for someone else to move in some direction. So not a lot of impetus, not a lot of sort of self-propelling initiative, this kind of thing. It's very much waiting for someone else to move at this time. That's the dominant picture. Showing up here with the Three of Pentacles. So there's this need for teamwork, but there's also this sense in which I feel like an awful lot of people are like, well, I can't do anything unless someone else gives me a leg up, helps me along, shows me the way, we do it together or not at all. And that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, provided we're not just all waiting for the other and then not doing anything for ourselves. Because I feel like this full moon may reveal a few things, and this time period in general this weekend may reveal a few things to some of us. You know, we may suddenly get like little sort of wake-up calls, little insights, or big insights potentially. And then it's also going to be about how we respond to those. And so while a lot of us seem to be waiting for someone else to do something, I actually feel like what we might be met with instead is kind of insight or understanding into our own situations individually and collectively, and where that can lead us. We're not moving at the moment, and we're not having to move, we're not having to lead at the moment. So you're responsible for yourself, and yes, you reach out to other people and connect with them, but you don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to be in charge at the moment. So it's not about being a king of wands. And at a moment like this, at a time like this in general, but especially at a time like this, be very cautious of anyone who purports to have all the answers, all the direction. You know, just come and learn from me, or come and do as I'm saying, or do as I'm doing, and everything's going to be all right. I would be very mistrustful of anybody taking that kind of stance at this time, because that feels like somebody who wants to take advantage of you. And more so now than usual, that's often a thing, but it's more so. Be skeptical of anyone claiming to know more than they reasonably can do, and who wants your support or wants you to follow them or anything like it. So kind of gurus, leaders, etc. I'd be very careful of that at this time, and I'd look far more towards teamwork, helping each other out, bringing things together in that direction. That's the balancing at the moment. It's very, very much towards teamwork. So there's a risk involved in looking for someone else to just lead, to give you all the answers. That's something that really has to be avoided. It's a shortcut that kind of leads to disruption, doesn't get us anywhere good. There's a need to focus on material matters in particular at the moment. I feel like some people may have been hit quite hard financially recently, or maybe feeling a bit unstable or uncertain financially or materially. You might be having health issues, and so there needs to be kind of a refocusing on financial and material matters, on our bodies, and taking care of our bodies as well, giving ourselves literally the physical vehicles as well as the material basis to be okay in the coming period, because that gives us the means then to do what we need to. It's a need for generosity with other people as well. And I feel a lot of this also then comes from Venus moving into Taurus. Venus rules Taurus. Venus and Taurus especially is all about money, all about the material, all about what's solid. And what's solid has been shaken up a bit by Uranus moving into Taurus as well. But Venus just kind of comes in and adds a bit of a blessing, adds a bit to all of that. So I feel that if you've been struggling with health, struggling financially, there's an opportunity at this stage to kind of bring through something better, especially if you've been working towards this. And if not, it's not too late to do that before the full moon, is really kind of push onto that, to look at what is materially supportive, what's going to support you and those around you at this time. That's showing up with the King of Pentacles as to where we head to. So it's not about someone else giving us all the direction, all the orders with the King of Wands. But I feel with the King of Pentacles, it is about making sure that you're looking after your own body, looking after your own resources, everything around this side of things, and being generous with that, being confident in that. And if you've been struggling with that, there's a space here to start to manifest a bit of abundance or a bit of health that you might have been struggling for. It's also a need to push through. If there have been financial or health difficulties or anxieties and this kind of thing, which is understandable, there's a need to push through and remind yourself how resilient you are. But also there's this ongoing need to be really reaching out for and guiding those people around us who are struggling in whatever sense, and letting them know there's someone with them, letting them know that they're supported. That comes up with strength. It comes up with strength, and that is the advice for the collective at this time. Part of that is not letting things get you down, but part of that, I feel here, is about looking after other people, stopping other people from losing their shit or kicking off because things are getting a lot. There has to be this gentle side to things as well. This is all about having the means to deal in the coming period. That's what we're moving towards. And therefore, it's all about not being turned over, not being toppled, not being knocked down, not being pulled down, but being able to stand for something, to stand in relation to each other and to help each other up and into a space of hope. And that comes out as the Seven of Wands. Not being needled, not being provoked, not being pulled down. Feel everything, but build the material means to deal, because you're not getting anywhere if you're not building in terms of the material, if you're not giving yourself the body, looking after your body properly that you need, if you're not supporting other people who may be having health difficulties, if you're not supporting yourself financially, if you're not reaching out to other people, and if you're not looking to construct a better world in the material, then why are you doing this? What are you here for? And you can, with strength, you absolutely can, because you have the people around you. You have skills that you bring. You're as important to this as anyone else. But we're dealing in the realm of pentacles here. We're dealing in the world of the material, because what we create materially absolutely matters in every sense, because that's the world that we need to live in. That's the collective picture. It's an ongoing churn, if you like, but a big part of that message is that you don't have to have all the answers, but what you do is you reach and build with the people around you, as well as looking after your own material needs, looking after theirs, reaching for each other, because we all bring different skills, we all bring different resources. All of that fits together. That's the picture for the collective at this full moon in Scorpio. And that's maybe not a normal full moon reading, but essentially we work with the astrology, but you don't have to wait for permission to be around people, to build with people, to look after each other. Like, if that's a need, you feel that need and you work on it. There are aspects coming in that are going to support us materially, and a full moon in Scorpio will kind of make a few things clear. It will expose a few people, a few agendas, that kind of thing as well. But you don't need to wait for that in order to actually start building. I hope that makes sense. That's the collective picture. Please remember, everyone, to like the video and share the video. I'm going to move on now to the 12 signs, and the first sign is going to be Aries. Aries, sun, moon, and rising for this full moon in Scorpio. Aries. Let's pick up on Alison's question again there. There's no point being spiritual if you're not building in the material world. It's that simple. You're here to build something in this world. You're here to link to other people. You're here to create something solid, something real, or you wouldn't be here. None of us would. Like, you know, yes, figures like Buddha went away and meditated, and then they came back into the material world around other people and did something practical. Because that's the purpose of being spiritual, is going to be having reverence for all life. And that's everything existing in the material world. Consciousness exists within the material, and if we're not bringing it back to the material, if we're separating out from that, then we're becoming self-absorbed, and we're not actually helping in those circumstances. We have to do something practical. Otherwise we let it all go. Aries. Okay, Aries, for this full moon in Scorpio. The sense they gave me, Aries, is of your heartbeat speeding up, like you're noticing something or realizing something, or something's being revealed, something's becoming more obvious, becoming more clear to you at this time. So this full moon is illuminating for you, Aries. It's illuminating for you, and the first thing I really have to say to you is that it's illuminating what you've been building, maybe what you've been building subconsciously, maybe what's been going on below the surface, what you haven't noticed, and now you're glimpsing it. So that's a big shift. But you're also stable enough to deal with what's being illuminated and to work with it, because this is actually, while you're going to be shocked, I also feel like you're going to get a clearer idea of where you find your emotional fulfillment, Aries. The first card coming up is your card, Aries. It's the Emperor. So you're coming in a place of some stability. However, bits of that stability for me may not be quite what you've been thinking they are or believing they are. So there's certain things that you're going to need to let go of, because they're not as solid as you might have perceived them. You see, you're not a Queen of Pentacles. You don't get to just sort of be there and attend to little bits and pieces, but the bulk of things stay in place. This is more about, because that's kind of window dressing, and that's not what this is for you. It's far, far more about being able to start new things, new projects, and you'll get an idea of how that's going to go. And I say you're starting new things and new projects, but it's almost like you're committing to something and the idea or impetus for it has already been building up below the surface. So you have the Ace of Pentacles, and you also have the Seven of Pentacles showing up as the advice. So on the one hand, things that you start to make things more solid, more real. And I feel that what you're making more solid and more real is the stuff that's been building up below the surface that you didn't realize was there, that will surprise you because it will mean that your ideas about yourself and what you're doing might change very, very quickly. But you're also in an immediate position to act, to put that base in place, and possibly for someone to come in and help you lay a base that gives you more stability is going to be the part of ongoing work with the Seven of Pentacles. This is building and moving you towards a place where you feel far more emotionally supported, far more emotionally secure, and therefore where you become an emperor in a far more stable and real sense, where this isn't just what's on the surface, but it goes way, way deeper, because you move towards a place of the Ten of Cups. So for some of you, you're going to realize deeper feelings towards somebody. For some of you, you're going to realize deeper feelings towards a group of people around you. For some of you, you're going to get a sudden shock in terms of the direction that your spiritual path or career needs to go in. But it's actually something that's been building for some time. It's just that suddenly you're going to get this wave of excitement and this drive to go and do that as kind of what's full starts to crumble away, Aries. That's very, very exciting for you. You need to work with it. You need to be prepared to start making those material changes, material commitments, making what you're pulled towards in reality very, very solid, and more solid than the kind of faux solidity that you constructed certain things on up to this stage, because that is what's being tested and what's going to be torn away as the truth starts to come out. And you're going to feel that come on really, really strongly, but it's going to lead you somewhere incredibly, incredibly fulfilling with the Ten of Cups, Aries. I hope that makes sense for you. The next sign is going to be Taurus. Hi to everyone just tuning in. So Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising for this full moon in Scorpio. Full moon opposite your sign, Taurus. This is also the conclusion of Taurus season. The sun moves into Gemini on Tuesday, so tiny bit of Taurus season left. Taurus. Okay, Taurus. Yeah. Okay, Taurus, you're uneasy, scared to look around you. In fact, you're sort of having a glance this way and that way, and you don't like it. You're like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to stay put, stay where I am. Everything is just a bit, no, I don't like that at all. So you're in, even for you, quite a rigid space, Taurus. And therefore you're not moving. So what's motivating this? What's motivating this with the Nine of Swords is fear. It's being in your head too much. And it's also actually, it's overcommitting to certain beliefs and ideas, Taurus. So that is what is going to be kind of tugged on over this full moon. You have certain beliefs, certain ideas that are making you very, very rigid, not considering anything new. You've told yourself certain things about yourself or about the world or about how you relate to the world or how you relate to people, and that's really now you have this anxiety now about looking anywhere else, and you kind of, and you're like, well, no, but you sort of become comfortable in this rigid place. You've almost become comfortable with the anxiety because it's familiar anxiety. It relates to familiar beliefs, even though those might not help you a great deal. So there's a lot. Okay, you're maintaining a semblance or an idea of control by adhering to some very rigid beliefs and ideas about who you are, what you're going to do, how you're going to relate to people, who comes in, who doesn't, this kind of thing. And yeah, not for much longer for a lot of you. So it's not about the Fool. You're not remotely free and easy at this time, and you don't have to be as free as the Fool. It's not like you dump everything out, but you do need to bring more in. You need to be open to bringing more in. So you're kind of like, oh no, I don't want to give up what I've done, what I've put in place, what I believe, but I don't feel like it's giving a lot up. It's just allowing yourself to be a bit looser, to consider some other things, other ways of doing things, other ways of relating, different self-perceptions. It's getting in touch with yourself. You see, a lot of these beliefs are illusory, absolutely illusory, and the things that you feel are giving you control are actually really disempowering you at this time, Taurus. You have the Seven of Cups showing up there. So be careful with what you've attached to and what you continue to attach to, what you continue to view as deal breakers, as certainties, as, no, this is who I am. This is nailed in stone. This is set in stone. Because I don't feel like it is, Taurus. I feel that's the stuff that's going to be tested, and if that's faux, then it's going to get ripped away. The masks are going to be ripped away in that way, and I don't feel like you have to release that stuff entirely. You just need to be a bit looser, a bit more open to other options, other possibilities, things turning out a bit different. That's the space that you need. Your advice is temperance. So you don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater. This can be a smooth transition. It can be a smooth transition if you make the space for it. If you don't make the space for it, it gets a bit tougher. You know, you get hit a bit harder because you needed to open up at this time, Taurus, because some stuff that you're holding on to isn't the be all and end all and may not be healthy for you. Temperance just allows you that flow where you bring more in, where it mixes together with what you already have, but it's looser, it's much looser. than this state of fear that you've entered into in order to try to control things. This starts to move you to a place where you can trust more, where you can surrender more, where you don't have to have so much control, Taurus. It moves you towards a place of the Hanged Man. That's where you're going to be heading to. Now, this is also telling me that the beliefs that you're holding really rigidly, the ideas that you're holding really rigidly, become a rope by which you hang yourself if you're not careful, Taurus. So you need to be looser than that. It's not earth-shattering necessarily, as long as you can loosen your grip, release a bit of control, and allow yourself to be able to explore different ways of doing things, different ways of relating to people, to the world, and to yourself. It's loose, it's just loose, it's quite light, Taurus. But that's where this full moon in Scorpio is taking you, and I hope that makes sense for you. The next sign is going to be Gemini. Gemini, sun, moon, and rising for this full moon in Scorpio. Gemini. And for those asking, if you'd like a personal reading, you're welcome to book one. My details are just in the box below. Gemini. Gemini. Okay, Gemini. Okay. Okay. You're getting a surprise this weekend, Gemini. This is what the full moon's bringing in for you. Again, it's not earth-shattering so much as it kind of is a bit surprising, and you're giving it a wry smile. There's a sort of cosmic joke sort of vibe to what's being revealed to you. That's the feeling that I'm getting. It's one of sort of those where you're sort of like, yeah, you know, the universe is having a good laugh at you. You're best off to laugh along with it, even if you look a bit of a fool. That comes up with the High Priestess, Gemini. That's what I have showing up for you, is the High Priestess. So, no way around what's being revealed this weekend. And while it doesn't seem to change much, it confirms one or two things. Maybe makes you feel a bit silly for doubting something or other. And just sort of, I feel like it will just make you that bit more light-hearted, which you deal with quite well. You deal with quite well, Gemini. I feel that the confirmation you get, or what gets revealed, is around something that you've been putting into, something that you've been working on as well. Because the Seven of Pentacles is also showing up. So I feel that maybe there's something you've been doubting or waiting for confirmation on. And now this weekend, you're going to get slapped in the face for being so doubtful, doubting yourself, doubting the universe, and that sort of thing. Or maybe you've gone totally down the wrong path or whatever else. But there's still stuff that can be salvaged. And again, you get slapped around the face for investing too much in certain things. But I feel that it's not bad. It's not bad. I don't feel that it's going to lead to massive, fast-moving changes that throw you off balance or anything else. It's not about the Eight of Wands, but what this is about showing up. We have the Queen of Wands showing up, Gemini, and I feel this is somebody in your life whose feelings towards you might have been doubting. I feel that this is somebody in your life who you didn't always know was supportive to you. And now it's going to be made very, very clear in the most obvious way that they're right on board with you. That's likely to be a fire sign. So that could be Aries, that could be Leo, that could be Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. I also feel like this is going to just encourage you to trust yourself a little bit more, to trust in certain attributes that you carry, in your charm, in your appeal, in your ability to create, and in your ability to win people over and to be just in a strong and confident place. Your confidence is being increased by this. So even though you're having that wry smile and whatever else, your confidence is also going to increase through this, Gemini. And that's going to set you up well. That's going to mean that you don't feel so under strain, so stretched. I feel that you've been getting a little bit over serious, quite stretched, quite strained. Things have been getting on top of you, and you're just going to feel a bit lighter after this weekend, and therefore more able to deal with a 10 of Wands situation, Gemini. So this is very, very nice for you. I feel, is it exciting a little bit? For those of you who are going to realize somebody has strong feelings for you, it's very exciting. For those of you who are just going to feel a bit more powerful, a bit more charming, it's still very, very nice. But you're going to be able to deal much easier after this full moon. So you'll feel lighter in that sense. I hope that makes sense for you, Gemini. The next sign is going to be Cancer. Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising for this full moon in Scorpio. Cancer. Cancer. First card has jumped for you, Cancer. For those just arriving, I run through the 12 signs first. So I'm reading for the 12 signs for these for the full moon in Scorpio that's coming up tomorrow. And then after that, I'll be taking a few questions from those I'm drawn to. Cancer. Cancer. Okay, Cancer. Okay. You see what you're dealing with, Cancer. Cards are not solid, not spectacular. However, what they're telling me, Cancer, is that some of you have been holding some feelings or some emotions down, repressing them a bit, not paying much attention to what you're feeling deep down. Trying to be very, very solid, trying to act like you're really under control, that you've got it all in the bag, and acting like you don't need anyone else's support or nurturing either. So you've been like going with this sort of faux independence, okay, Cancer? Sort of false independence. And that's what's being tested for you this weekend then, is this kind of thing that you've built up where nobody thinks like you're struggling with anything. It's all really easy. You're really in control. King of Pentacles is showing up for you. Is that the king? No, that's the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, that's the Four of Pentacles showing up for you. Excuse me, Cancer. So yeah, you're acting controlled. You're trying to maintain this space of control. Okay, that's what we're dealing with. Four of Pentacles trying to maintain this space of control. That's what we're getting from that. But thank you, LV. But you're kind of like, you know, if like you're like caught in the sea, lost at sea or whatever, and so you're clinging to like a raft or like a flotation aid or whatever because you don't want to be swept away. That's kind of where you're at, Cancer. You're so keen to avoid your feelings at this time, let alone allow anyone to see you struggling. It's just not good, you know. That's not healthy. I can see what you're trying to do, but it's not healthy. You're not a Queen of Pentacles. You're not allowing yourself to be a Queen of Pentacles. You have to look after yourself and your own stuff before you start to look after other people. But you don't have to maroon yourself and close off like this and be like, no, I'm fine. I'm fine all by myself. Fine all by myself. There's a need to allow a bit of help in, and a need to take a longer term view. You're taking a very short term view, Cancer. I need to get through this bit, this weekend, this week. I'll be fine. Then this, and you're running out of breath. You're running out of breath, Cancer. This isn't helping you. The Knight of Pentacles is showing up as your next step. So you need a longer term plan than this. And part of this is not doing this alone. Whatever you're doing, especially if you're trying to like hold your own feelings down, but you're really struggling, you can't be doing this alone, Cancer. It's not healthy for you to isolate like this, to repress your feelings or your difficulties like this. Eight of Wands is showing up. You need people pulling in the same direction as you. But that means people need to know where you want to go, that you want them alongside you. And you do want them alongside you. You need them alongside you. That is going to make you a bit freer, but it needs you to communicate with them as well. So yeah, fine, you put together a bit of a plan, a longer term plan with the Knight of Pentacles, but part of that has to be bringing other people in, not being an island, not being so closed off as you are here. Not incidentally either bringing other people in just so as you can help them and mother them and nurture them and not look after yourself either. Like, you have needs too, Cancer. You need to open up to the support that you can have with those. Moves you to a place of the Page of Wands. So this is about being more open, more communicative, more playful, more creative. You can't get there by yourself. You're being ground down and you're clinging on, and it's not healthy. So this weekend, Cancer, this full moon, you got to release those defenses. Release the idea that you're doing it all yourself, that you have to do it all yourself, that you can just keep on just these tiny bits and then it's okay. This is just going to get bigger for you otherwise. So you need to be opening up to that help. And you also need to stop helping everyone else when you haven't helped yourself either. This has to be more mutual. It really does. You have to be pulling in the same direction, all putting similar amounts of energy in, Cancer. Otherwise, you're just getting more and more drained and you're neglecting yourself. I hope that makes sense for you. The next sign is going to be Leo. Hi there, Ladybug. Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising for this full moon in Scorpio. Leo. 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 Okay, Leo. Yeah. Interesting stuff for you, Leo. You've kind of... You're vigilant. You've got your shields up. You're using them quite well. You're sort of like pushing away threats, deflecting away threats. So nothing gets too close to you, Leo. Nothing triggers you too much, affects you too much. That's not a problem. I can deal with that. That's dealt with. That's fine. That's gone. That's gone. No big deal. Easy. Bang, 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 bang. You've moved into that sort of mode, Leo. It's allowed you to make a degree of progress. It's also something that may become just a little maladaptive as time goes on, and I'm going to explain why. You show up with the Seven of Pentacles, which is coming up very, very regularly today. So people are obviously big on their ongoing work. And you, as much as anyone else, are looking to defend your ongoing work. The things you put in place, the things you've come to believe, the things you've come to rely on. That's become almost automatic now. This process, this pushing things away, closing it out, letting nothing affect you, that's become more or less automatic. You're not having to think about it very much. So you're not being, in any sense, a king of swords, Leo. It's far, far more. It's ongoing. It's automatic. Don't want to say mindless, but it's not an intellectual task for you. You're just sort of in this zone, and you have been for some time. And it's somewhere where you're quite comfortable. It's somewhere you don't want to move out of. You have the 7 of Wands showing up. So you don't want things to hurt you, bother you, hit you too much. Very, very much staying in place. Don't want to be exposed. However, it feels like you need to let somebody in a bit, Leo. You have to let somebody in a bit in order that you can open up and see what your connection to them truly is. You've been so quick to close out, close off. That's going to get in the way. That's going to be a distraction. So you're perceiving anyone getting close to you in any sense as a threat, and that's less healthy. So you need to think a bit more than that, Leo. You can't just be pushing everyone and everything away or keeping everything at arm's length. Excuse me. You see, with the 7 of Wands, I don't feel like the threats are too bad. You can deal with those things that are genuinely like attempts to get at you or whatever else. But when somebody is at your level, it means you no harm, which you can feel into, then you need to open to connecting to them. You see, I don't feel you are in any danger. You're a King of Wands here. Very strong, very powerful, very formidable, very respected, very warm. Somebody people do want to connect to. Somebody who can deal with a bit of heat. Things coming a bit closer. Because you're carrying the fire more than anyone else. You're carrying that wand. You can deal with whatever is coming in, Leo. And I feel this is who you're being asked to be at this time. To trust in your own power. You don't have to think about it too much as a King of Swords, but as a King of Wands, you can trust in your own power, owning your own space and being able to allow people into it without being under any threat. Now, for some of you Leos, this means allowing a potential partner in, or it means allowing somebody who's already a partner or who you've been dating to become closer to you, because you may still have been keeping them in some sense at arm's length, shutting them out of a few things, that kind of thing, in case they get in the way of your projects, the things that you're building. With the Lovers, just where you're heading to, Leo, you need to be opening up. Open up on a heart level. Open up on a level that recognizes and trusts all that you are, but allows that connection to be there. So as you can see what it is, because you need to see and feel what is there with someone at this time, Leo. At the moment, you're too closed off because you're worried about being disrupted. But I feel this heart to heart at this time, Leo. This heart to heart that will tell you the truth, because otherwise you're turning your back on possibilities. You're walking away and you may be closing yourself off. And I feel this full moon is going to just give you a little nudge that tells you to drop your guard a bit and open up to somebody on that level, Leo. I hope that makes sense for you. The next sign is going to be Virgo. Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising for this full moon in Scorpio. Virgo. 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 Okay. I've got you as a bit edgy, Virgo. And you're not the only one who's edgy at the moment, obviously, but you're kind of edgy. It's like you've got a weapon on you and you're ready to go for anyone who threatens you at this time, who rubs you up the wrong way. So you're quite vigilant, maybe hyper vigilant, Virgo. Maybe a bit closed off to people, fearing anyone coming too close to you. Overthinking as well. For you, Virgo, it's about the Ace of Cups. You need to be in your feelings. I feel that there's somebody this weekend who is going to kind of touch you in terms of your feelings. You're going to feel something very, very deep, so long as you're in your feelings, Virgo. It's not about the Ace of Swords. So the danger here is that you get all up in your head as a sign ruled by Mercury, and that leads you to cut people off unnecessarily or prematurely. That's what you need to work on this weekend, is being in your feelings, not in your head. The moon is in water. Work with the water, because when you feel really deeply, when there's big movement in Scorpio, it's going to reveal things to you. You're going to understand far, far more. When you go up into that headspace, you intellectualize, you're going to miss it. You're going to miss it. You need to trust in your material surroundings, in what you built for yourself, in who you are, and in your ability to receive that affection, that love, that feeling. So we need you to be a Queen of Pentacles at this time. You play that role quite well, actually, Virgo. You're quite capable of being a Queen of Pentacles. You're capable of being nurturing, having attention to detail. It's those small things that you can focus on in the material, and you can do the work on them, but without intellectualizing everything. Because if you intellectualize everything, you're going to get scared. You're going to close off with the Nine of Swords. There's real edginess there. That's the edginess that is showing up. You're another sign that he doesn't want to let people too close to you, but you need to. You need to, so you can feel. It's not going to be disruptive, Virgo. You just keep thinking it is, and that's why you're closing off, but it's not. You're in a stable place. You can welcome this feeling, this love, this joy in. And it's actually going to be quite freeing for you when you do at this time, Virgo. It's actually going to allow you to work harder, to work better, to create more. Because you won't be doing it all alone. You won't be feeling that you're doing it all alone. You can play the role of the Queen of Pentacles. You can welcome in this love. You can interrogate your fears, but not let them take over. And that's going to allow you then to learn and progress far, far more with the Eight of Pentacles. So I also feel that this person coming in to support you is also potentially going to encourage you in terms of work. Going to be somebody who you learn from, or just feel more able to work because you know you have their support. So you can progress more, you can learn more, you can get further, you can create more. Doing your part of this, Virgo. And I hope that makes sense for you. Next sign is going to be Libra. We're halfway through the signs. Please remember to like and share the video, everyone. Please remember, if you'd like to book a personal tarot reading or astrology reading, my details are just in the box below. And if my work is helping you and does help you, please feel free to leave me a tip or a donation. The details for that are also just below. So Libra, Sun, Moon and Rising for this full moon in Scorpio. Hi to everyone just tuning in. Libra. Libra. Excuse me. Oh, Libra. Libra, you're denying yourself your needs. And by denying yourself your needs, you're cutting yourself off to so much more. And I feel that is what is being torn away by this full moon at this moment in time. So you have needs, Libra. Material needs, physical needs, spiritual needs, emotional needs. And you're not quite being open about them. With the Five of Pentacles, you're trying to sort of push on by yourself, trying to be really independent. That's not like you. That's what you're doing. Trying to be really independent. Oh, I don't need anyone. Oh, I can do this all myself. I can offer myself to other people, but my needs, what I want to happen, that's not important. That sort of feeling, Libra. So there is a Libra energy to that. But it's not about being a Knight of Wands. Like, you don't have to act like you're going to heat up and excite everyone else. You're going to help everyone else as well, but you don't need anyone yourself. Because you're so sure of yourself. And it's fine. You got all this boundless energy. Like, actually, you got needs, Libra. You got needs. And not only have you got needs, you've got love needs. You've got partnership needs. And that's both love and work. You have needs in both of those Aries, Libra. You're literally the sign of partnership. You know this. You're supposed to be about balance, not just about denying your own needs and giving everything away, Libra. For a lot of you, this is a love situation that I feel like it isn't coming to life because you're not being open with them about your feelings. You're not being open with them about your needs. I feel like you're reaching out and offering them various things at various times, but you're not being open about your feelings. But you need to. With the Two of Cups coming up for you for the second time this week, Libra, in 2 readings. Yeah, you got to be open at this time about your feelings, open to the connection, open to mutual support, open to commitment as well with the Five of Pentacles. And Five of Pentacles is also about commitment, being there for each other, okay? You're far too much on the, oh, I don't need support, really, I'm going to soldier on sort of thing. But you do love this person, or at least you're falling in love with this person, or else this is a really important work partner. But for most of you, it's love. For most of you, it's love. So you need to open yourself up to that, Libra. This is way healthier than this is. And this isn't healthy at all for you. That's not where you want to be. So you've got to open up about your feelings. Open the door to feeling. Let it be known that you are wide, wide open to this, Libra. Okay? They're not just going to fly in and sweep you off your feet either as a Knight of Wands. So you've got to be open. This has got to be balanced, and you're good at that. But they're not going to come in with the whirlwind, with the excitement, and you're going to be blown away. It's not like that, Libra. It's just not. It's all about supporting each other. It's about mutual needs, mutual support. That's the basis of the relationship that you're moving into, moving towards, Libra. With the Three of Pentacles showing up, it's then going to be something that takes work. It takes work to build. You have to show your willingness to put into this materially for the long haul, bringing your own skills, your own attributes to this, because that is what they are drawn to, is you, who you truly are, warts and all, including your needs, including your insecurities. Every part of that. You hide that away, but that's the key to unlocking this as the Two of Cups. And what's more, that's the key to this becoming passionate, Libra. Open up in that way. This can become really passionate with the Five of Wands showing up. The Five of Wands is passion. The Five of Wands is allowing you and them to really put into it. The fives are tricky at times, but this is movement. This is how this becomes something real, something more. It needs you to be open. The love is right there, Libra. All you have to do is embrace that. Come in as yourself. Don't deny your needs. Don't pretend to be something you're not, or expect someone else to come in and do all the work. And this ignites the passion with them, Libra. Very, very exciting for you if you can open up and be honest at this time. I hope that makes sense for you. The next sign is going to be Scorpio. Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising for this full moon in Scorpio. Full moon in your sign, Scorpio. 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 Okay. Interesting for you, Scorpio. Something is going to come through for you, but not immediately. It's going to be like a big dip and then an up, Scorpio. That's kind of the picture. It's so you're going to need to not allow yourself to fall away completely and succumb when the bad news or the difficult revelation or the insight comes your way. And it is a full moon in your first house, so this is probably something that you define yourself or your world by a bit, that is being blown apart to an extent. It's going to bring insight, it's going to bring knowledge. It may also involve moving away from a belief system. I get the sense that you're going to be moving away from certain beliefs, and you may be a little bit upset by that. This may not be a nice experience as it hits. You know, the universe has a variety of ways of getting messages across, so it may not be nice. But with the Six of Swords showing up, you're moving on to new ideas. The universe is taking you to ideas and understandings that suit you better, that are more in alignment, that you can make a choice to understand, accept, work with, and things will get better for you. But it's not about the moon. So you're not being trapped here. You're not being trapped here. You're not being caught by stuff coming out of the depths or whatever that is going to pull you down and you're going to get stuck down and it's going to wreck your whole world. It's nothing like that. But it's going to be an understanding and maybe a shocking one. And it may be a little disappointing for you, Scorpio. With the Five of Cups, I feel that there may be an ending or a sign that an ending is coming that goes along with having to change your beliefs and your approach at this time. So it's major. It's absolutely major. But you can't stay in the unhappiness with one thing going, because look at all the upright cups. I feel that you're going to find there are people around you who support you. You're going to find new ways of understanding, new ways of doing things really, really quickly. And you need to focus on that, Scorpio. You need to focus on that and not just get dragged into the depths and feel like you're drowning or out of control. You may have like a really sort of uncontrolled response at first to what is coming in and hitting you, Scorpio. The sense that I get is, you know, being triggered in some sense, which is real, very, very real. But I don't feel like you're going to have to stay there. You're going to need to notice the good things around you, the insight coming in, and communicate. Be open. Be ready to try new things, new ways of doing things, new approaches. With the Page of Wands, and there's also maybe a fire sign who comes in to help, or who you can look to for help. This might be an Aries, might be a Leo, might be a Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. But I feel like, I wouldn't say it's someone coming to the rescue, but it's somebody who is optimistic, who brings you some optimism and is going to help you through this. You're going to be changing your approach to your life and certainly to your work with the Three of Pentacles, but it's going to move you into alignment. You're going to realize there are people around you can trust, things that you can do, and over time you're going to feel more assured. But this has to hit first. This has to hit first. But what you can't do is allow yourself to stay in in the sorrow, in the difficulty. You have to don't repress it. It's revealing something to you about where you can go next. I feel that there is support and encouragement coming in around you as well, Scorpio. I hope that makes sense for you. The next sign is going to be Sagittarius. Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising. For this full moon in Scorpio. And hi to everyone just tuning in. Hi K-Stars, hi Dimitri, hi Shader, hi Ebony, hi Matt, hi Thielo, hi what else is possible? Sag. 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 Okay, Sag. Okay. Okay, it's like this, Sagittarius. You're not really letting anyone else get a word in edgeways at this moment in time. That's the sense that I'm getting. You feel that if anyone does, it's going to be a distraction, a drain. It's going to get in the way. No point to it. I know what I'm doing, know where I'm going. So they can just sort of zip it and disappear off because I'm not interested, not in the mood. And okay, so you know what you're doing, and that's all right. It's not a bad thing. But this is also a little defensive and a little cold, and you're getting a bit cross. You're getting a bit cross. Very protective of yourself, very protective of your work. No one else gets to come near it. Mine. Look after it there. Keep it contained. No one else gets to come near it. And I feel like you're doing the same with yourself. But there's something that you're working on. You don't want anyone else near it, essentially. You feel like all they're going to do is cause disruption. Fuck stuff up for you, and you don't want that. But it's not very light. It's not very light, very, very serious. In fact, it's how you're acting, and it's not healthy. That shows up as the 8 of Pentacles, but that's not where we need you to be. Bit lighter, bit freer. 2 of Pentacles. Play around with other people's ideas, other people's approaches. I said this feels like it's affecting you mostly at work. Allow other people to have a look. Give their thoughts. Bounce ideas off of them. Much, much lighter, Sagittarius. And like, not everyone who is offering advice or insight is coming to sabotage you. They're not. Some of them value you and want to take part, help you, support you, offer you something. Recognize your achievements and help you move things on to the next stage. You have the Four of Wands and the Five of Cups showing up, Sagittarius. So the sense that I get is that you've done really good work. You're building stuff up. People rate that. People are ready to celebrate that with you. But you are just seeing everyone as a threat. So you're looking on the downside constantly. They're going to come in, they're going to crush everything, ruin everything. But most people are coming in with blessings, with support to celebrate with you. It's really positive. And you're so closed off. And I feel like either you start letting people in, you stop thinking the worst of them, or they do start to cut you off. They do get upset with you. That's your choice, your decision with the Ace of Swords, ultimately. If you shut people out, push them away, cut them off, if you're so serious about everything, allow yourself to celebrate, be light-hearted, everything is the worst it can possibly be, that sort of thing, then you're going to start to lose people, Sagittarius. Or they'll stop offering help or support with your work and that kind of thing. And it's unnecessary. So much of this is blessings, but it needs you to be open instead. Allow people to come in with advice. Allow air signs in particular to come in with advice, because they'll have a different approach to you. They'll have something to offer, something to add, Sagittarius. I hope that makes sense for you. The next sign is going to be Capricorn. Capricorn, sun, moon, and rising for this full moon in Scorpio. Capricorn. Capricorn. Cappies. Capricorn. My heart dropped when I came to you, Capricorn, and my heart dropped because a bombshell is landing or something is happening this weekend, but not to you. It's happening to somebody around you. Somebody around you is going to be hit by something really difficult. Something really difficult that you can't stand in the way of, but which they are going to need your support with, Capricorn. Big responsibility. Big responsibility, but you absolutely are able to go and offer that support and help them. Page of Cups is showing up, Capricorn, as what this is. You need to be open to being an emotional connection, an emotional support for someone, somebody who sees the best in a situation, somebody who can help somebody through a situation, somebody who can show and communicate love to somebody, Capricorn, and with no illusions. It's not about the Four of Cups. You can't look away from this one. You are needed to be supportive and loving, Capricorn. The Page of Wands is also showing up. So you need to be communicative. I feel that the Page of Cups may well be the figure who you're relating to. And you need to be a Page of Wands in particular in relation to them. So you need to be communicative, talkative, ready to learn, very, very open. You need to lighten things for them without making things any less serious. Because whatever's hitting them, it's hitting them hard. It's hitting them hard and you can't stand in the way of it. Tower comes in as the advice. So what is hitting is real, it's sudden, and you need to be able to help. You are in a position to help, and this is somebody who's very, very important to you. You have this role to play for them, and you absolutely need to. You are able to take some of the strain off of them with the Ten of Wands. You are able to help in that sense. You are able to stop this person from feeling like the sky is falling in. Okay? This could be a very serious situation that they're facing. I'm not saying any more than that, but be ready to step in and help, Capricorn. You have an important responsibility here at this time. I hope that makes sense for you. The next sign is going to be Aquarius. Aquarius, sun, moon, and rising for this full moon in Scorpio. Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius. Be careful, Aquarius. I feel like you're gossiping a lot at this time. You're gossiping a lot about how other people are doing. You might be gossiping about other people's misfortune. You might be sort of finding it funny if someone's got their comeuppance or just desserts or whatever. You're sort of feeling like it's very justified. You're feeling quite smug. Be careful. Be careful, because that's not helping. It's not helping you. It's not helping anyone else. And if somebody is struggling, why don't you reach out and support them? Show a bit of love, show a bit of solidarity. Or at the very least, lose this kind of schadenfreude that you have towards them, Aquarius. That's the sense that I'm getting, is that some of you are indulging in that kind of thing, and it's really, really unhealthy. You're not here to be a Page of Wands. You're not here to be gossipy. to be treating other people's difficulties like a joke. There's a need to be a bit more serious and mature and responsible than that as a King of Pentacles, because otherwise don't be surprised if you get a bit of blowback from it. Like, watch yourself, watch your own stuff, because I feel like you're having a laugh, but you won't be the one who has the last laugh if you play this game. You're going to come off worse. It's going to unstick you. It's going to undo you. You need to get back to what you've been working on, what's real, your friendships, your life, your work, the material stuff. You need to do more work on that. With the Four of Pentacles, there is this sense in which you're more exposed actually than you've been letting on. You're more exposed than you've been letting on, and that's why you're distracting yourself with everyone else's business, because you don't see a way forward. But I feel that if you keep that up, you're going to come undone yourself, and somebody will have a longer laugh at you than you've been having at them, and it doesn't get anyone anywhere at this time. It's a waste. Ace of Swords is the advice. Be clear, be discerning, watch yourself, watch what you invest in, watch what your values are at this time. That's going to allow you to see a bit more clearly and take a longer term view, be able to find your way with the Two of Swords. But that only happens if you get your nose and your laughing face out of other people's business, treat them with a bit of respect, and show yourself a bit of respect as well, and look after your own work. You're in a strong place, but don't get too smug. Don't get overconfident, because you will come unstuck if you do that, and it may not be pretty, and it's unnecessary. You don't have to go through that if you treat people respectfully in the first place. I hope that makes sense to you, Aquarius. The final sign is going to be Pisces. Pisces, sun, moon, and rising for this full moon in Scorpio. Pisces. Okay, Pisces. You're very focused on something at this time, Pisces. There's a particular outcome that you've got your heart set on, that you feel like you're working towards, that you pinned a lot on. And a lot of your self-worth seems to be tied to whether or not you make a success of this. whether or not it takes you to where you want to be, to where you want to go. Very narrow focus, and maybe it's needed to be, but it's not just energy that you're investing, it's your whole sense of self. The Magician is showing up for you, Pisces. The Magician is showing up, so you're very focused. I know what I'm doing. I'm going to get all this together. All this, all this, all this. I feel like you're having to do it all alone as well. You're not trusting a lot of people. So it's very me. No one else can be trusted. I got to push on with this. Very narrow set of people allow close to me at the very least, if anyone at all. Pisces, it's not about the Five of Cups. You're very fixated about what's gone wrong, what's disappointed you, who you couldn't trust, and you're kind of ignoring the support around you. Four of Cups comes in as well, so yeah, blessings are there, support is there, other things apart from this are there for you as well, but you ain't focused on them. You ain't focused on them at all, and that's quite dangerous, Pisces. Leaves you quite ungrounded, quite dependent on this one thing coming off, and yet there are other things being offered which will help to stabilize you, will give you more of a base, and you need that in place, Pisces. Ace of Pentacles is there for you as your advice. So there is this need to have other things in place, and other people are coming in and offering you things that are stable and solid and real. You need to be accepting those at this time, Pisces. You need to be accepting offers of money and help and support at this time. That's going to help you a great deal. And you're going to need that, because not everything is going to work out as you've planned it. There's a Ten of Swords showing up in front of you. And I feel that the Ten of Swords is about feeling isolated, alone, scared here. And you're going to have that going on if you close yourself off. Put all your eggs in one basket. Don't accept help. Don't accept support. Whereas if you do, then this is much lighter. There's other stuff in the pipeline, other stuff going on, people around you, and more stability, solidity, things you can point to, that you can rely on, that you can count on, because they're being offered at this time. But you have to be willing to receive them, Pisces. You have to be willing to receive them. To spread your hopes a bit wider, to allow more people in. It's going to help you a great deal. I hope that makes sense for you, Pisces. That is all 12 signs. So thank you all for being with me through those. I have time to answer a couple of questions. If you have a question that you'd like me to pull cards for you on, please pop it in the live chat and I will see who I'm drawn to. If my work helps you and you'd like to leave me a tip or a donation, my PayPal details are just in the box below. That allows me to keep on doing this work. Please like and share the video. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, I am open for tarot readings. I'm also open now for astrology readings. Those are also details are in the box below if you'd like to book me. And obviously that allows me to go into way more detail on any area of life or anything that's come up too. So let me see if there are any questions in the live chat. Michelle M would like to know what to expect in my love life, as I have been stuck for a few months now. Thank you. Okay, Michelle, let me have a look for you. Michelle M. Michelle M. Michelle's love life. Quite disillusioned at the moment, Michelle. I can feel that. I can relate to it at times as well. It's positive though. I feel it's positive. You've got an air sign coming your way, Michelle. And that's why you got to stop overthinking this. You have the Knight of Swords showing up for you. So this might very well be a Gemini. And if not a Gemini, it might well be a Libra or an Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. I feel that this is somebody who's smart, very talkative, maybe talks quite a lot. That sort of picture for you. But it feels like it's going to be really, really good for you. You're going to feel a good connection. You're going to feel connected, feel in control, and you're going to feel just, oh, finally, that sort of thing. So with the Knight of Swords, we also have the Six of Wands showing up for you. So I feel you'll be celebrating. With the High Priestess showing up, I feel this may well be a fated meeting. I hope it's a soulmate rather than a karmic relationship for you. But I feel a lot of movement as well with the Chariot showing up. So it's encouraging. Can't say it's going to be there for the rest of your life. I can't see that far, but it's really encouraging for you. Could be a big deal with the World showing up. It feels like you're going to be completing something, Michelle. Could be a very big deal if you can deal with how talkative this person is. I hope that makes sense for you. Look beyond that superficial bit to what's going on underneath. I think you'll like what's going on underneath a bit more. Shader, I would like to know about my romantic love life. Sometimes I lose hope, and the fact I'm gay makes everything so much scarier and harder. I'm a woman, by the way. Don't worry, Shader, I'm a long-term single lesbian myself, so I get it. Let me see what I can bring through for you. Shader's love life. Shader. Okay, it's like this. 10 of Cups is showing up in your conscious mind. So you're very, very about, you want the real thing. You kind of want the dream love to end all loves. That's what you're looking for. That's what you're opening to. And because that's not in place, you're feeling very, very exposed with the 10 of Swords showing up. So you've kind of, it's quite all or nothing for you. That's kind of the sense that I'm getting. So you're feeling like, ugh, it's never going to happen. I've been left for dead. Isn't very, very good. And yet there is, it's funny you say you're very black or white, because in your subconscious you have the Chariot showing up. And I feel that this is the need to be a bit more balanced. I feel like you're quite an overwhelming figure for some people. And that's not a bad thing with the right people, but you're quite overwhelming. You have a big personality, character, and that's going to take the right person to connect to you. And you can't say yourself short because it's not going to work. So this is why you're in this mindset. But with the Empress showing up, there's this need to just trust in yourself a bit more, in your own power, not be so... I feel like you at times spend quite a lot of time looking or hoping or thinking about this. You might be like sat there swiping away more than perhaps you might want to be. There's nothing wrong with swiping on the apps, by the way. We all do it, but there might just be a bit too much of that, if you like, and not enough just affirming yourself, believing in yourself, trusting in your ability to attract. Like with the Empress showing up, you need to embody this energy that attracts, that really attracts. You need to affirm yourself, your self-image, your appearance, your values, who you are, what you bring. And that is going to attract a fire sign towards you. Ace of Wands does come in. Something sparks, and I feel it's probably going to be a fire sign who comes in for you. Could be Aries, could be Leo, could be Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. This can be a very, very exciting time for you. But you need to trust it, because at the moment I feel you're so focused, fixated on this, and I get it. I've done this myself. It's kind of not allowing the space for that. So that's the main advice for you. But I really feel like this is going to shift for you. If you can just be open and value yourself and trust that you're going to attract that. I hope that makes sense for you, Shader. Alison Welch, old-fashioned, but will I marry my man? Let me have a look for you, Alison. Will Alison marry her man? Seems likely things are moving on to the next level. So your relationship is being tested in that sense. Judgment is showing up for you. So something is moving upwards. But I feel that if you ask him directly, he's like going to say no at the moment with the Four of Cups. Something has to come in to shake him up, to make it happen. And it's not you doing it. It will come in from the outside with the Tower. But this is going to put this big test on your relationship with Judgment. And I feel that if it's strong enough, it will move up to the next level. You won't know what to expect with the Seven of Cups, but with the Lovers coming in, there is this opportunity for a choice to be made. But I feel like his world has to be shaken up for that to happen. I hope that makes sense for you. Thank you all for your questions. Thank you all for tuning in and being here. Thank you all for the wonderful atmosphere that you create in this space. Please remember to like and share the video and to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button to make sure you never miss a live. If my work helps you, please think about leaving me a tip or a donation. The details for that are just in the box below. If you'd like to book a personal reading, you can do so. My details for that are also just in the box below. Please follow me on Facebook and on Instagram. And if there's anything at all that I can help with, any questions you have, if you'd like to book me for an event or collaborate with me, please feel free to get in touch anytime. I'm going to wish you all a wonderful, wonderful evening or night. Some wonderful full moon workings, and I'll see you all again on here really, really soon. Thank you for being here.